You think you're in love. You think it's freedom, a choice. But what if it's not love? What if it's addiction, hidden behind a beautiful word like feelings? Today we're talking about a truth most people don't want to admit. Love addiction. When we fall in love, the brain floods us with a cocktail of chemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. This isn't just romance. It's a state comparable to a drug high. Brain scans show that the same regions light up as when taking cocaine or winning the lottery. We lose control, craving not the person, but the feeling they give us. But the brain adapts fast. Euphoria turns to anxiety. Anxiety turns to panic. And then the cycle repeats. Morning thoughts about this person can take up to 65% of your waking time. At its peak, almost everything. This isn't love. It's what psychologist Dorothy Tenov called limerence, a state where someone becomes a motivational magnet, pulling you into uncontrollable obsession. But where does this pattern come from? Research shows people with an anxious attachment style are more likely to experience limerence and love addiction. Up to 60% of such cases fall into this trap. And the vulnerability grows if love in childhood was conditional or unstable. Here's the paradox. When you didn't get love as a child, consciously you crave giving love, warmth, care. But unconsciously your brain seeks what's familiar. It moves toward pain, toward love that feels like scarcity. Why? Because the mind chooses predictability over happiness. You try to rewrite the old story to prove you can make it work this time. But most of the time, history repeats, and the wound gets deeper. There's a theory called self-verification. We choose those who confirm what we believe about ourselves. If you grew up feeling unworthy of love, you'll be drawn to someone who reinforces that belief. It feels right, even if it destroys you. Love addiction isn't a metaphor. It mirrors the same patterns as substance addiction. Focus shift. The partner becomes the center of your life. Tolerance, you need more emotional highs. Withdrawal, emptiness when contact stops. Relapse, going back to toxic cycles. And what about drama? The reason is simple. Stability feels boring. The brain adapts. You want more. So you seek conflict, chaos, games just to feel alive. You start writing tragedies for yourself. Love addiction is one of the most destructive dependencies. With drugs or alcohol, you can cut physical access. But how do you cut someone you love, even if they're toxic? Every text feels like a hit. Every silence feels like withdrawal. You live on a swing, euphoria, pain, euphoria, and the brain whispers, love equals suffering. A lie we've learned to believe. One person described how life became a closed loop. Thoughts only about one person, checking the phone every few minutes, the torture of waiting for a reply. Every pause in the chat feels like panic in your chest. You can't focus on work. Nothing else matters. Every message is like a breath of air. Every silence like falling into a void. Sound familiar? That story is about you. So what's the way out? The answer is simple but brutal. Admit it's not love, it's addiction. Take distance. Stop the chase for messages. Learn to sit in silence. It's hard, but it's the only way to get your freedom back. Recovery stories exist. People who've been through it all say the same thing. First comes hell, then silence, and then freedom. Real intimacy begins where there is no withdrawal, no fear of losing someone. Love is about safety, trust, and calm. It's about being yourself without fear of being judged or abandoned. It's about quiet warmth, not the anxious noise in your head. Love is not a drug. Love is not withdrawal. As long as you're chasing a hit instead of a human, you're in a cage. And only you can decide, stay addicted or finally break free.